Hello everyone, this is AG47 Liberty, and today my topic is self-control. I have a quote, and this quote is, "It is a good thing for leaders that men don't think." I will give you the answer as to who said this quote at the end of this video. Okay, so let's start. Self-control I believe, is the most important characteristic to have in order to achieve success and wealth. Okay, self-control steadies the mind. It allows a person to stop and just simply think, what to do. Second, once you have achieved this self-control, then one is open to tapping into their divinely inspired talents. Yes, you're able to think, and you're able to say, hey, and look maybe objectively on what you can and cannot do. Which brings about creativity. This creativity is responsible for producing the arts and technology, which we use to harness the gifts of the earth. Once we've learned to utilize those gifts, then we are able to make our own lives and the lives of others better. And that is how you create success and wealth, by making other people's lives better. And you utilize the resources of the earth more efficiently if you specialize. And that's what the arts and the technology help you do, and your talents. You increase those, you better those talents through thinking. Okay, so what happens if you allow others to do your thinking for you? So, once you allow someone to dictate to you how to live and what to think, then you lose the ability to control yourself. It's like in a classroom when a teacher says there's no talking, and she or he enforces that rule by standing on top of you, and you see them coming down hard on these students. Well, once that teacher leaves the classroom, what happens? All the students start to talk. They're not doing their work anymore. So, all right, that's just an example. Once you cannot control yourself, then your God's gifts, talent, creativity is neglected or even lost. Once you stop using your creativity or your talents, then the wealth of the earth goes unused, or even worse, abused. People become empty shells. Life becomes dreary because dreams are no longer fulfilled. Instead, they fill these voids in their life with drugs and alcohol. The basic needs of life, then, are no longer met, and despair sets in. Once despair sets in, then suicide becomes a common practice in order to deal with life, or to escape it, actually. The ultimate form of escape of life is death. So, my example is the Soviet Union. And, because I did live, I shouldn't say lived there, I studied there for a combination of about 3 months. And this is exactly what I saw. No food on the shelves, basic needs weren't being met, people were not allowed to fulfill their dreams, and you saw really high rates of alcoholism and even drug abuse. That's something they didn't talk about. And people just simply didn't care. Everything was run down. So, here's an interesting part. In the one section under the Soviet Union, the one place where there was hope, liberty, was each person was allowed a private plot of land. And on that private plot, they could grow whatever they wanted. And believe it or not, on the 1% of land that was arable in the Soviet Union, in the old Soviet Union, that 1% of land produced 33% of all the food in the Soviet Union. Look at that. One bit of hope, one bit of liberty, one bit of freedom where people were able to use their creativity and talents. They produced 33 times what they needed. Just imagine that. Okay, if they would have had 100%. Okay. So this quote, I will read this quote to you again. The quote is, "It's a good thing for leaders that men don't think." Who said that? Adolf Hitler. So the next time you allow the government to do your thinking for you, or someone else to do your thinking for you, or just think about that. What they actually have in mind is to control you. And what happens in the end is what happens in the Soviet Union. And that's what happens when you have tyranny instead of liberty. That's why liberty is so important. And that's why the U.S., when it was founded under the principles of liberty, that the people of the United States became so wealthy and so prosperous, and why we always seem to be happy, or at least at peace with ourselves, and why our lives always seem to have some meaning and fulfillment. Okay, that is this is the end of the video. Thank you very much. I hope you can agree that self-control is the most important characteristic a human can develop. Thank you. Remember my motto: trust in God. Everyone else pays in silver.